This is Mindee Ball, Content Director for Marketing Perfected. I have been writing marketing content for 15 years with experience in many different industries. My background includes working for marketing agencies in the United States as well as social media analytics firms in Europe. Also joining us is Arun Kumar, CEO and founder of Marketing Perfected, as well as several other companies. Arun is an expert in international IT as well as a certified marketing consultant and John Maxwell certified public speaker. He has founded many lucrative businesses, including medicallegalspider.com and directseats.com. Today, Arun and I are speaking with Shawn McBride about his marketing strategies. Shawn is a corporate attorney as well as a published author, and he is now mainly speaking with companies about how to make their brands better. Shawn, would you like to elaborate a little bit on who you are and what you do?
Sure, yes. Everything I do touches somehow around planning. My core history was I was a corporate lawyer, worked for years at the largest law firms in the country, and then several years ago, almost 5 years ago now, I started my own law firm. And as things evolved, really what I was working with business owners constantly on was their plans, getting their partnership agreements to protect them, get their investor documents to protect them, and then also to make sure that the company and that wealth would survive if something happened to the business owner or the management team. So that's been my focus, and it's led into not only the legal work that I've done historically, but also doing public speaking about those topics to make more audiences aware of it at national conferences and events. And then also now the book where we kind of chronicle the mistakes we've seen people make, my book called Business Blunders, profile of 10 mistakes that we've seen all too often business owners have made. So we've kind of put them into a checklist so that other business owners can see them before those issues happen. And then I get called upon to speak. One of the most recent prominent speaking events I did was I spoke at a TEDx on the advantages of women in business partnerships.
Wow, you're a busy man.
It keeps me very busy, yes. I have a great team behind me that helps a lot. So.
Yeah. Well, great. Okay, thank you. Arun, would you like to give a brief explanation about Marketing Perfected?
Yeah, sure. Hello, listeners, and thank you, Shawn, for joining our show today. And I'm sure this will help and inspire many small and medium-sized business owners. Marketing Perfected, I founded Marketing Perfected just by hearing the demand and seeing the demand. You know, I have my own company, Medical Legal Spider. We provide document review services for law firms. And we found a different interesting marketing solution for our firm. And when I started, spreading what I've learned through my friends, they asked us to come up with a strategy, and we gave a strategy to them. Strategy could be done in just 5-10 minutes in a piece of paper, but it requires a lot of team, skill set, and knowledge and execute it. And most of the people, those who received a strategy from us and asked us to execute for them. So that opens up a new opportunity for us to provide marketing services to small and medium-sized law firms and other businesses. So our two services is consulting. We help business owners to identify the best marketing strategy, messaging, and the best media for them. And the second one is, we also help to execute the consulting. So this is the two major services we provide.
Okay.
Very good.
Great. All right. So let's get started with discussing Shawn's marketing efforts. Shawn, I'll go ahead and start with the first question, and that is to basically just tell us about your business and what you do for your clients.
Sure, yeah. We help clients make their companies last, to make them stand the test of time. So, most privately owned businesses, which is our core client base, have a lot of wealth intrinsic in them. They have customer lists, they have suppliers, they have ongoing relationships, revenue streams. But many times that's at risk if something happens to the ownership or something happens in the business. If the owner's no longer there, a lot of times the business will go through a period of turmoil and disruption, and much of the wealth could be destroyed. And then the other piece of it is if you have a partnership agreement, sometimes those partners will get in a dispute, and those can be, horrifying in the ramifications. Sometimes the entire business will be destroyed due to its speed of a partner. So we help our clients plan for this and the other things that happen in their business as well. But those are kind of a couple of our core focuses. And then we deliver it to them in different ways. For some people, that is, they're clients of the law firm, and we sit down to them, we meet with them one-on-one as a law firm and draft and implement that strategy. Some clients come to us in our strategy firm, and they want our help on how they do it. They don't necessarily need us to do all the documentation because they may have a relationship with an existing lawyer that they use. And some people want us to speak about these topics or, buy books about these types of things. So, we deliver the core message about planning and making your company last in several different ways.
Okay. And now, can you explain your current marketing strategy?
Yeah, our current marketing strategy, centers around thought leadership and expressing these opinions in different ways. It's not accidental that I do a lot of public speaking, because the public speaking is our way of creating awareness with people that we exist, that we have this expertise, and that we're available to help them. So it's kind of a way to give to the community and enlighten people about these issues, but then also, some of our target clients will be in there. So that is one of our biggest pieces of our marketing strategy, is the exposure and the awareness to let people know that we exist. And we use public speaking for part of that, and we also do some marketing with our existing clients and our referral base as well.
I have a quick question on your answer,
Sure.
Shawn. Before you identify a speaking engagement as one of your best suitable platform, have you tried any other platform? Do you have any other experience in trying standard networking, or have you tried any other media to connect to your ideal customers?
Oh, yeah. I used to use a lot of networking. I still do some networking. I still go to some events and things, but I found that, the number of people you had to meet at networking events, the number of times you had to sit down and have cups of coffee with people, was not quite as efficient as getting up in front of a qualified group and speaking about my area of expertise. So it was a refinement over time to be able to have a conversation with more people at one time and to have more people learn who I am, which is why we got largely into the speaking and then the related mediums. So now we do some online. Of course, there's video and the books and other stuff, but all of it centers around communicating who we are to those business owners so that they can find us when those situations arise where they need us, either to help them with their strategy or help their employees implement their life plans and strategies. So yeah, we've tried other marketing strategies at different times. It just, we've evolved it over time and we found it's the most efficient per hour expended.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And one more question followed by that. Normally, if I meet 100 people on one-on-one, so my conversion would be yes. So what is your experience, if you go and speak in front of 50 members audience group, so what kind of response, you get from them?
Well, it's going to vary depending on the group and their type of engagement. So, if it's a lot of business owners, if I sit down with a business owner CEO group, like I did recently, I have a very engaged audience and they're very much listening to it. If I'm talking to more of an entrepreneurial group where some people are owners and some aren't, they're going to have different engagement with the message. So a lot really depends on the group. If I speak to a general business group where some are business owners and some are employees within the company, that's a third way of engagement. So my primary target would be a group of business owners. So those are the ones I can add the most direct value to. But other people get value from the message too. It's just different groups, different mixtures of people lead to different types of engagement back from the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then what platforms do you currently use to find your prospects, and how do you use those platforms?
Yeah, like I said, speaking is the primary platform that we use, and we use that as a way to express who we are. All of our speaking topics now center around planning, We used to do some legal topics and other things. We've become much more defined about what we speak about. Every one of my signature speeches somehow touches on planning and how you can achieve the dreams you want to achieve and how you can execute that and how you can protect yourself. So we get very focused on that in a speaking platform. And then we also use some ancillary stuff, YouTube, Facebook, other mediums of also getting that expression out there to different people that would hear it a different way. You know, some people are going to listen to a podcast, some are going to come to a live presentation. So we're open to kind of doing different ways of getting it out there, but we're using a lot of different platforms to communicate who we are. That's the main thing we do, is just outward communication of who we are and what we do, and we share a real experience and add value, and some percentage of the clients say, hey, that's helpful. Now I want that applied specifically to me, specifically in my situation, to make sure I get the best possible plan for me and I don't feel like guessing, so they hire us in to do that.
Right. Okay. And, I mean, you've kind of already answered this one, but any other ways that you contact your prospects?
Yeah, we'll do some, we do some messaging. Well, for instance, for conferences, that is a secondary market of ours because some conferences will hire speakers in. So those we'll do some direct contact with. We'll be looking for conferences and events where we must be a fit, and we'll actually do direct outreach to those conferences and events to see whether they have a fit for one of our speeches and might fit their needs. So we will do some direct outreach in that area, but mostly our prospects were making the initial contact by them seeing us through some medium, and then they'll initiate contact with us, which will lead to a conversation to see whether they're a good fit for our market or for our products.
Okay, so people usually contact you rather than the other way around.
Yeah, we don't do a lot of outbound contact. In fact, the law firm, it's very, very difficult as a law firm to do outbound contact. So we never contact people, potential clients, through the law firm. On the speaking side, my business strategy firm, we will occasionally call conferences and events, but mostly it's more about having people know who we are through our marketing efforts, which will lead to starting the sales conversation. Okay.
And do you have any current referral incentives?
We don't. The law firms are very restrictive on how we can do referral incentives, so they historically haven't made sense for us. Our business strategy firm is relatively new, and we have not implemented an incentive plan. I know many speakers do, offer referral fees and other things. We have a relationship with some bureaus where they would be, paid a percentage of the speaking fee if we were to speak to an audience, but we don't have an active program of paying referral fees at this time.
Okay.
Mindee, I would like to jump on this. So, Shawn, one quick question on your last answer.
Yes.
We would like to understand, I know that in law firm, referral is the major portion of your new client, correct? So when you ask for a referral, if you get a referral, do you analyze whom referred and, how many percent of the existing customers you refer? Or do you even influence your existing customers to refer? Influence means, by asking them, hey, just let me know if you have any friends or your friends need any help. Those kind of influence I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. Those conversations are very typical for lawyers. We will talk to our clients about, what their needs are, if they know other people similarly situated to them that need help. Yes, but we can't pay the client for referring to us. We can't split a legal fee with a non-lawyer. There's very strong ethical rules on that. So we can't pay somebody. So people refer us out of goodwill and the fact that we did a good job for them, and they think we'll do a good job for their friend.
Awesome. So you do ask. So the intention of why I'm asking is the listeners should understand that we need to ask for referral to our existing customers. That is where people are missing. Dropping the ball, that 70% of the customers only refer when you ask. So that you cannot assume that you're doing a great job, so you will get a reference from them. No, you got to ask. So that is the reason why I asked that question. But thanks for answering, Shawn. Over to you, Mindee.
Okay, and now we're going to talk about some technology. How has technology improved or enhance your marketing efforts?
Well, technology's been great for, finding opportunities for networking with people. So for those conferences and events that might be a good fit for our speech, they've been very helpful for that. It's helpful for me keeping in touch with other speakers and other authorities and learning what they're doing and comparing notes with them, and also exchanging opportunities. Occasionally you'll encounter another speaker who may have a conference or event that they're aware of, but they're not a fit for the subject matter of the conference or event, in which case they might send it over to us or say that this might be a better fit for us. So technology has been a great way for us to communicate and to keep a pulse on what's going on and to keep in touch with others. That's been kind of our primary use of technology, is to collect information and to utilize that information to figure out how we want to spend our time and effort.
Okay, and then do you also use any traditional marketing platforms?
We've experimented with some advertising. It has not worked very well for us. I think maybe if we found the right target markets at some point, that may be something we would do. But most of our stuff is newer stuff. We've tried a little bit with social media. We've done some blogging, and I know that's a little bit newer stuff. I think that's starting to move possibly into the realm of traditional marketing. So we've used some of those types of more traditional online strategies, but we've not used much of the old school marketing methods of advertising, billboards, commercials. We don't use those heavily.
Shawn, I have a question on your answer. I would like to know, for example, email. How effective you are using email? Are you sending a monthly newsletter to them, or are you sending any personalized email to your current clients? Are you sending any New Year wishes to them through email or through Facebook? So if you can elaborate in that area, that would be great.
Yeah, we do keep in touch with our clients. We do have an email newsletter which goes out to clients and the contacts that have elected to receive it. So we do communicate regularly with some folks via newsletter. We do some email strategies. We use some traditional mailing. We actually mail people cards on special occasions and events like that. And occasionally, yes, we'll make sure that we email people and check in with them. We use our monthly bill, which is usually a negative event in most people's eyes, or many businesses are shy about sending their bills out, but we use that as a chance to communicate with our clients, and we often ask questions, see how they're doing, and open conversations there where we can add value to our clients through that process. So we're using every opportunity we can to keep in regular communication with our clients, understand what's going on in their world, and how we can add value to them.
Awesome. That is the reason why we invited you for this show, because we want other business to understand, as a business owner, you are using every possible platform to keep in touch with your existing customers on your prospects, and you are investing your resource and time to get a quality content to them. So that is the reason why I asked the question, so our listeners will understand that. Thank you, Shawn.
Yep, my pleasure.
Over to Mindee.
Okay. And Shawn, what is your annual and monthly marketing budget?
I would say our annual budget's approximately $50,000 when you add all the pieces together of how we do the marketing. So some of that's direct costs, flights to go to marketing events, meeting, having employees, that are making marketing calls, etc. And so some of it's in. So it's direct or indirect. So I'd say around $50,000 from looking at our budget recently.
Okay. And are you currently tracking your customer acquisition costs?
We do. It's a little tricky in our world to track exactly where a customer comes from, because so many of our customers have met us in multiple mediums. So, if as we try to break the customer acquisition cost down by medium, it becomes a little trickier. For instance, I had a client not too long ago where they'd seen me quoted in the Wall Street Journal, but they'd also been introduced to me by a client of mine around the same time. So it's hard to track which of those two led to the client coming in. That's something we've always balanced with. But yes, we try to keep track of what the cost per client is over various different mediums, so we can figure out which ones are a better use of resources.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, awesome. Shawn, I wanted to highlight one thing to our listeners, so what you said is very correctly. It needs to be understanding, it needs to be received very well. The reason why I'm jumping in, what you told is multiple medium is influencing the decision-making power, so they can come and talk to you. The example which you posted is, they've heard you in a business journal and your client referred you, so they're both influenced. So that is the best possible information referral a client could get. So I want our listeners to understand, it is not like one media. You have to use multiple media towards the same ideal audience, so the possibility of them reaching to you is higher. So that is the reason why I'm interested, and I wanted to highlight that, Shawn. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Back to you, Mindee.
Okay, Shawn, do you research marketing tips or research the current trends in the industry to stay up to date on what other brands are doing?
We do, and it's been interesting as part of the speaking journey, and on that side of the world, I'm a member of the National Speakers Association, and that's one of the common topics of NSA is, what are we doing to get our names known? How are we speakers working with others? So there's a constant flow of there, but it's always nice to read articles and events and articles and ideas, and I'm always trying to see what others are doing so that we can stay as up to date as possible, both within this industry and without the industry. I also look for ideas outside of the legal industry because I think there's more innovation outside of it, although we then have to make sure anything that we implement is allowable under the attorney regulatory rules.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And
awesome.
What advice? Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, Mindee. So always we advise and suggest to our clients that stay open and be aggressive in learning new opportunities, and that is what Shawn is practicing. So we wanted to highlight to our listeners that you got to stay open, and you have to spend at least 30 to 45 minutes every single week to see are you missing out any new media, are you missing out any new venue to reach your ideal customers and stay in front of them. So Shawn is doing that. So I wanted to congratulate Shawn for doing all possible best practices we could advise for legal industry. Good job, Shawn.
Thank you.
Okay, and Shawn, as you know, our listeners are probably entrepreneurs. So what advice would you give to them about their marketing efforts and future marketing strategies?
I think the key is just to experiment and test. This is like many other pieces of your business. You've got to try things. Some things are going to fail. Some things are going to work better than expected. So you really got to put the effort into testing and trying different things. I know we've tried many different marketing avenues. Arun and I talked at the beginning about how I used to do a lot more traditional networking, and now I do more speaking. And part of that is just because I found what worked for me over time. So as I went through this journey and learned what was working and what was not working, I found some strategies work well, some strategies don't work as well, and I just collect the data and learn from there, and you focus more on the stuff that works, and you focus, and sometimes you have failed experiments that don't work, like our experiment of mailing books to media people. Those books, we did many, many mailings, and we found that we didn't get much replies, so that we found that was not a great marketing strategy, so we tried other things, and we learned as we go. So I think that's the key, is just keep an open mind, test, experiment, see what works really for you and what's genuine for you and your business.
Mm-hmm. And don't be afraid to fail.
Don't be afraid to fail. Take some chances. You're going to have some failures, but you'll also come across some successes.
Yep. Okay. I know earlier you said that you don't typically offer incentives, but is there any offer that you could provide for our listeners today?
Yeah, well, we can't pay somebody to send us referrals. Obviously, we can take great care of their friends and other people if they send them to us. But if you go to www.mcbrideforbusiness.com, which is my business strategy firm, there's a worksheet available for free on how to increase the value of your business. So that's something I think business owners can take a look at, work through, and it will help them think about how their business is working, where some spots might be that they can improve, and what they can do more of to be better.
Awesome. So,
Okay,
Shawn, can you spell, Shawn, just to make sure our listeners understand, can you spell you the website address they can visit?
Sure. It's McBride for Business. My last name, McBride, FOR, spelled out, business.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And listener, if you are a business owner or trying to start a business, definitely I would sincerely advise you to visit the website and get that sheet and take a review. And you may, feel free to reach Shawn. He's one of the trusted, reliable business attorney and very good friend of mine too. So I would definitely recommend him for your business need, business structuring. So he's one of the best. So feel free to reach him, Shawn. If you don't mind, can you give your phone number or website address there, how they can reach you?
Sure. Yes. Phone number 214-418-0258. Feel free. That'll ring directly into our office. We'll take great care of you from there. Website for the law firm is McBrideAttorneys.com. Website for the business strategy firm is McBrideForBusiness.com. And if you do info at McBrideForBusiness.com, that will get you to our team, and we can help you from there.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shawn. And the listeners, please note that as soon as I asked for any bonus or anything you can give away, so Shawn immediately jumped into it and gave a downloadable material. And he was prepared for giving away the download material. So that needs a lot of plan and thoughts. So again, Shawn proved that he's prepared and he's planned and he's executing what he's listening and what he's believing in. So good luck, Shawn. Again, I'm proud of you. I've seen you a few years before, and I'm seeing you now. I've seen the growth. So I wish you good luck. And again, listeners, feel free to email us or comment on this page if you have any specific questions, and this will be shared in our Facebook also. Feel free to comment. And so we'll be trying to answering your question as soon as possible. And thank you so much, Shawn. And if you have any last words to our members and followers, feel free to share it off.
Well, I think just keep working at it. Like we said with the marketing and all throughout your business, you're going to be adjusting and changing and making things work. And reading and learning is one of the biggest things you can do. And get some great advice, too. Get some good people to help you do what you're trying to do.
Thank you. Thank you so much.